We're going to go into week 3 here of the Originality workshop, and I want to start off with this first video because you'll probably see me in different shirts because I'm going to record this at different times, different days, along the way, because this is going to take a little bit of time this week to record. We're still going to be working on the sentence by sentence stuff, okay? And I'm going to try to pound this home. Now, the whole idea with Heinlein's rules and everything is to get you down into sentence by sentence and creating. One of the aspects of originality is that you have to find your way to create your art. Now, there are all kinds of different levels of this, and no writer is the same, as I've been repeating over and over and over again here. I'm not trying to make you into some clone writer, because that's exactly the opposite of what this workshop's about. I'm trying to get you to find your own way of doing it. The problem is that we are trained, and the big problem is, I've stated over and over here, the problem is we are trained by society to be clones when it comes to writing. You must do it this way. You must write slow. You can't spend more than 30 minutes a day writing, otherwise it'll be bad. You got to do this. You got to do that. You know, it's just on and on and on. You got to rewrite. You have to have 10 different drafts because some English teacher believed that somewhere. All of this stuff it's trained us to be exactly the same and to take originality out. Now, why our school systems do that, I don't know the answer to it. I have theories, and I'm not going to get into them. But the reality is that's the upshot of what they do. Well, what everybody taking this, I'm assuming, is gearing towards trying to be a professional fiction writer and to create original works of fiction, original works of art. And that original work of art needs to be from you, from your core. Not from your English teacher, not from some other training somewhere. It needs to be from you, your core, you the person. Which is why I said in one of the other videos, for heaven's sakes, don't copy me, because my core is I'm an old pulp writer. I love the old pulps. I mean, the writing's dated, but I love the old style of the pulps. I love the old attitude of the pulps. I love everything about the pulps. So one of the things that we're going to do here is to move on, but I wanted to move on into sentence by sentence, and then next week we'll get up into the story level, and we'll do that for a couple weeks on originality of story level. But I'm going to stay on sentence by sentence here. This is unbelievably difficult to teach. In fact, I think it's just almost impossible, which is why Chris and I are staying at the level of, if we can strip away in one form or another the clone aspects of what society has taught you and strip that away, and then you start writing, then you'll get to your original stuff, given time. Given time. Again, it's very difficult. John D. MacDonald had this great saying, one of the great original writers of our time, and he had a belief system that every writer had 1,000,000 words of crap in them before they got to their first publishable word. That's, in essence, paraphrasing what he said. Well, when you actually go to interviews with him, he explained that. He believed that the 1,000,000 words were not derogatory, wrong word. They were derivative. They were very derivative words. They were copying other people. They were churning out the stuff that we had been trained. And it takes a writer to about that 1,000,000 word point before they finally clear out and get to their own words, which he called sellable. Because he didn't believe that anything derivative, anything that was trained in school was sellable at any form of professional level. He believed it took 1,000,000 words of writing to get out of all of the crap that we have inside us, that are trained all this stuff, and to finally come up over the top and find our own voice, our own way of looking at things, our own way of looking at. So this week I'm going to work on looking at sentences. How do you look at sentences? What is original? What isn't? How do you identify if you're being original or not? Often you won't be able to. I mean, bottom line, this is almost an impossible task. But I'm going to at least dance on the surface of it here a little bit. But the theme statement, remember the goal. The goal of this part of this workshop is to try to strip away all of the crap that you were trained that makes you just like everybody else. And if you strip that away, you'll become original. You may think you're original, but you're not yet until you've stripped all this stuff away. And if I'm making you uncomfortable, if Heinlein's rules made you uncomfortable, I haven't looked at the assignment yet above this. If Heinlein rules made you uncomfortable, good. That means it's probably bothering you. It's getting to that training. That's a good thing. As I said in the beginning, I'm going to make a lot of you really uncomfortable. And we'll lose a lot of you through this workshop as it gets more and more uncomfortable. Sorry.